Hi everyone. This is a small capsule that's going to try and give you a look at what Collaborate looks like. I just realized that with meeting you all for 15 minutes that your cohort has actually never used Collaborate, which is rare because it's the UPI recognized sort of licensed software for synchronous meetings. It's also used in almost every campus across Canada, so you're very likely to use Collaborate again. And so it's totally understandable you feel a bit not so at ease as you're beginning. So I just wanted to give you a little sort of inside tour. I just wanted to move this if I can. There we go. So this is the platform. Some of you have already used it to chat to me today. This is the microphone which you click to be on. This is the video which you click to be on. Collaborate is done in such a way that if your bandwidth, if your signal isn't good enough, it's not going to let you use the video. And if at any point you're at home and you're trying to listen and your quality isn't great, turn off the video and you will have a much better sort of experience. Usually what I recommend is if we are all online for the 12 to 12:30 or the 4:30 to 5 meetings, is turn your camera off unless you want to speak, in which case you put your camera on. But your signal is overall going to be better, and all of our experience as users is going to be better as well. Keeping the sound on isn't a problem for the bandwidth, but you may still want to turn it off, just like on Zoom, because you're going to get background noise otherwise. So probably the best if you go into the meetings with microphones off and video off, and then you put them on if you want to contribute or to ask a question. If you want to ask a question, you have this icon which will raise hand. See, now my hand is raised, and if it was one of you doing this, it would pop up here, and I could see your name and your hand raised, and then I can lower your hand, and that indicates that you want to take the mic and you want to ask a question. And this is pretty much your interface. So this is what it's going to look like when you do your your presentations. You're going to have access to a few more features. So I want to show you the features because they don't appear in your interface. But on the day when you're doing your presentation, I can make you a contributor, right? So if you look at here, at the bottom here, this is the chat, by the way. So if I type here and I click, there we go. It's a chat and it begins. You have two choices for the chat. You see there's everyone here, or I could choose someone else. I could choose a name and actually send a private message to someone, or then I click again on everyone and then I'm chatting to the whole class. So when you're contributing in class, make sure you're on everyone. This is a list of participants. So if you're online, it can be useful too to see if your friends are online, or if someone you need to send a private chat to, they'll appear here. So on the day when you do your presentation, we'll be online just a few minutes before you start. And I'm able to, if you were online here, there would be another line. It would say attendees. I'm able to pick you from attendees and push you up to moderator. And then once you moved into moderator, you have access to the full features. So these are the features I want to show you, because they may come into play in the way you prepare for your presentation. You can share a blank screen. So if I do that, I have a blank screen. What's the use of having a blank screen? I have features up there and I can do things. So I can use the text icon. This is the color I want to write on. So let's say I choose the red, and then I place the cursor on here, and then I can say, there we go. Okay, so if you want an interactive slide in your presentation, you get people to actually contribute. You could use the chat box, but it's a little less easy to follow. But you could also put a blank slide, and then you ask people to type. This here is the eraser. Be careful if you're doing a whole session and you're a participant, you have access to this. So don't use it if you're not a presenter, because it will clear the entire screen. So if there's lots of things written, if you click that, the whole thing goes. You can also click on the pencil and you can actually write like this, which is kind of funny if you know how to write with a mouse or cursor. But it's a possibility too. So if people are not comfortable typing in, they can also just write in, and this erases it again. Okay, so this might be useful when you're using those features for your own presentation. You can share app or screen. So here it's not what I'm looking at. I don't want to share screen. I want to share, I eventually want to share stuff. So here, if you have, it doesn't work well with videos, but with the sound issue, but you could certainly share an app or something that you want to demonstrate, or possibly a video if the sound didn't come into it, right? But I'm not sharing screen now. You can share a camera. It's not going to be much use because you're already on camera. You can share a file. So this is a very commonly used one. If you want to share a file, you can either send me your PowerPoint before your presentation, or you simply click Add File. And then you would pick the presentation that you want. And then you would create Open. Not going to do it now. It would start loading. It converts it, and you load it up here. And then you leave it highlighted, and you click on Share Now. And then the PowerPoint will appear in full. It's each slide under the other. And then you click on the slide, and it shares it to the main screen. Once it's on the main screen, I can show you here. Like that's it, right? It would be highlighted like this. Once it's highlighted, you highlight it. You click Share Now. I see all my slides. And if I click here, there you go. It's on screen. Once it's on screen, let me just move that. You have a cursor here to move your slide. So you no longer use to use the margin. You can actually use the main screen. Okay. Okay, let's go. The button here is to stop sharing. So stop sharing. There we go. And other features, which can be quite cool. Just return into here. You have a polling. That's quite useful. So if you want to make your session interactive, you can create a poll, multiple choice, yes, no. You create it on the spot. It's fairly easy to do. Let's do a yes, no. Is it sunny where you are? So again, all of these features will appear once I make you moderator, but it's really the teacher role, so you don't see it unless you're a moderator. Yes, no. Sorry. Start. There you go. It appears on screen. So then people will be clicking, and then you would automatically see the results of the poll. There you go. I see the results. Okay, very self-explanatory, very easy. So you could easily integrate this in your presentation to make it interactive. And you have the breakout rooms too. So if you wanted in your presentation, it's very short, 30 minutes, but if you wanted to give people sort of 5 minutes to think about an issue and come back together, we can go into breakout rooms. And here I would have the list of participants. It doesn't work because I'm alone, but if you were more than one, it would give you the option. And you could assign groups. It's not going to let me do anything because there's no group, there's no attendees, but it would allow me to decide how many people per group or how many groups. And then you start and people go off in groups. Once you're done, it's again a stop button. You just click on the stop button, everyone comes back. I would be there to help you anyway, but think that that's a possibility if it's something that you're interested in doing, integrating into your presentation to make it more more interactive. Let's see what else you have. There used to be, it's probably there, I just don't know where it is. There's a timer on here too. But I don't know where it is, or maybe they've removed it. It wasn't anything particularly useful, but it's just a timer that allowed you to actually stop your presentation on time. But you could do that with your phone or with anything else, so it's not major. Sounds good. This is the view poll, right? So if I want to go back to this, if I want to stop the poll, I just click and then it actually goes away. So you've seen all the features. It's a fairly user-friendly system. The only problem is that, again, it's done for people who have good signal. The things I recommend for our sessions on Collaborate is try and have a LAN connection if you can. I know, as soon as we started with COVID, if you were here and you saw, I am actually sitting on my dining room table and I've put a 20-meter extension to go and get my connection to my computer, because from experience I found that that's the only way I could have stable sort of signal for Collaborate. And I've never had any problems since I've used the cable. So I recommend that you do that. You're going to get a much less pleasant experience from a Wi-Fi, from a tablet or from a phone. So it may be worth finding yourself a place where you have sort of landline access to LAN cable access to your modem, and that will make it better. If it really is bad, sometimes watch. So if you were here, go back here, you see this little icon here. See, it tells me that it's good. Your experience is excellent. You can always check here. If you get in trouble, you're going to start seeing flashing red. it's going to show you one bar and it's going to show you red. So that might be because of the weather, might be about things that's happening in your province. If it's bad and you're talking, always stop and give it a little bit of time. It often solves itself. If we're all having a bad experience, sometimes we'll stop and leave the room and re-enter the room. That's a good housekeeping issue, also solution rather, with Collaborate, is leave the room and re-enter the room if there's really a technical problem with that one, and that normally solves in an instant. That's about it. I think you've had the full tour. Useful little program. And I said, you will use it again because really it's the program of choice for PI and for most other campuses in Canada. That's about it, I think. I hope you've had all the answers, and I hope you've got enough ideas there to see how you might integrate some of that into your presentation. Now, you will see that I have actually said that the longer session on Friday, I will probably book the Zoom channel from UPI, because I found that after about beyond 2 hours, Collaborate gets a bit tedious, and on Zoom we can easily have everyone's screen on as opposed to having to just put it on when we're speaking. So for the longer sessions on Friday, if you're presenting during the longer session, it'll be Zoom. I think I'll get confirmation fairly quickly from the office. And with Zoom, similar features, but you can share your screen, so it's just easy. There's less sort of a control panel. You just share your screen and you do everything from your screen. So that's it. That's the 2 platforms we will use, and I hope that satisfies all your questions around technical issues. And we'll see you on Monday. And again, the first Collaborate session will be 12 to 12:30 a.m. Monday to recap the morning unit, and it'll be on Collaborate. So we'll be testing it out for the first time then. See you then.